Lewis Hamilton arrived in Suzuka knowing exactly what was at stake. After a turbulent start to the season, a tough opening weekend in Australia, followed by a painful disqualification in China, this was meant to be a reset, a turning point, a chance to finally demonstrate what he and Ferrari could do together. But instead, what unfolded during qualifying left Hamilton visibly frustrated, the garage unsettled, and questions swirling yet again about the SF25's fundamental limitations. What's become clear is that Hamilton's partnership with Ferrari, while filled with promise, is being held back by a series of ongoing strategic missteps and setup compromises. The latest chapter, a qualifying session at Suzuka, that exposed just how delicate and problematic Ferrari's current setup philosophy has become. And that's what we're unpacking today. The ride height adjustments, the balance issues, the knock-on effect from Shanghai, and how all of this left Lewis battling understeer, sacrificing downforce, and ultimately qualifying far below where he and the team expected him to be. So before we dive into all the critical details, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on all notifications so you don't miss a single update as the 2025 season unfolds. And of course, stay with us until the very end of the video to get the full picture of how this could affect Hamilton's race on Sunday, and potentially the entire trajectory of his campaign with Ferrari. From the very first practice sessions of the weekend, it was clear that Ferrari were walking on eggshells when it came to the SF25 setup. After Hamilton's disqualification in China, the result of excessive plank wear caused by the car running too low, the team were forced to make precautionary changes in Japan. Namely, they raised the ride height of the car. A seemingly small change, but in Formula One, millimeters matter, and this one had huge consequences. By increasing the ride height, Ferrari effectively took away one of the SF25's few strengths, its ability to generate consistent aerodynamic downforce close to the ground. This left Hamilton driving a car that felt imbalanced, unpredictable, and, most critically, difficult to push in high-speed sections. The increased height took him out of the optimal aerodynamic window, causing instability and a drop in confidence behind the wheel. What followed in qualifying was a frustrating sequence of sessions where Hamilton was unable to get the car hooked up. He managed to progress to Q3, but only just, and in the final shootout, he could do no better than P8, more than 6/10 behind the front-running pace. For a driver of Hamilton's caliber, in a car that was expected to challenge for podiums, that result was deeply disappointing. After the session, Hamilton didn't hold back. He made it clear that the ride height issue was still having a serious impact. In his own words, they were running higher than we would like, a direct consequence of what happened in Shanghai. It wasn't just a small compromise, it was a significant change that altered the entire balance and feel of the car. He also revealed that he and the team had gone in different directions with the setup. While this is sometimes part of a broader strategy to gather data or explore performance windows, in this case, it backfired. Hamilton reported a lot of understeer throughout the session, a condition that makes the car slow to rotate through corners and robs the driver of confidence during quick direction changes. And at Suzuka, a circuit defined by fast-flowing corners, that's a killer. Adding to the challenge was the narrow setup window of the SF25. According to multiple insiders, Ferrari's current car is extremely sensitive to ride height changes. This isn't just about being too low or too high. It's about the car only working optimally within a very tight range. Step outside that even slightly, and the performance drops off dramatically. That's exactly what happened here. Hamilton, ever the professional, still took some of the responsibility on himself. He admitted that he didn't get great laps in Q3 and that P8 is not great. But reading between the lines, it's obvious that the car wasn't giving him the platform he needed to perform. This wasn't about overdriving or making mistakes. It was about being forced to compromise due to deeper structural issues with how the SF25 handles. Even more frustrating is that there were genuine signs of promise earlier in the weekend. Ferrari had hoped that updates from simulator work and new adjustments to the rear suspension dynamics would allow Hamilton to attack Suzuka with more confidence. But all of that progress was overshadowed by the necessary changes to protect against another disqualification, and it came at the cost of outright pace. Looking ahead to the race, Hamilton is still optimistic. There's a chance of rain, and he's made it clear he welcomes that possibility. Suzuka, in many ways, has exposed the fragile balance between innovation and stability inside Ferrari's engineering department. The attempt to solve one problem from China created a new one here in Japan. That's not just a one-off setup issue. That's a symptom of a bigger struggle. Understanding the true behavior of the SF-25 under pressure, under evolving track conditions, and in the hands of a driver who expects and demands precision. But there's another side to this story that's equally important. The attitude Hamilton is showing throughout these challenges is worth highlighting. Not once has he shifted blame entirely onto the team. Not once has he resorted to emotional outbursts or public criticism. Instead, he's analyzing, adjusting, and constantly pushing for clarity, asking the hard questions, but doing it in a way that keeps the group focused and motivated. That leadership might not grab headlines, but it will be the difference.